Sayori loudly sobs uncontrollably.
I'm supposed to be there to support my friends. But instead,
She lets out a loud cry.
I'm so selfish. I'm so selfish. Yes, it is.
I slowly let go of Sayori. The makeup on Sayori's neck begins to wash away, revealing her bruise.
I don't expect you to understand me, Finn. Nobody does.
Aww.
You already said that.
And we are back for more Doki Salvation Remake. And last time, the Dokis have caught up to Monika's lies. Oh boy, let's get right into it. It was so bizarre, and to make matters worse, whenever we confronted her about something, either relating to her or how she's feeling, she would completely blow us off. That was when Yuri decided to hang out with me a bit more as well. It's almost like the entire club started to change while you guys were gone.
For me, it was when I was back in the hospital. She always knew what to say, but she seemed so different from the Monika I knew.
Well, she was the one who told me to check up on you, considering that you were about to off yourself. And then all of a sudden she wants you gone completely, and that part always gets me.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound selfish. I hope it didn't sound weird or anything. But I hope you guys understand what I mean. I don't really feel like talking about this anymore.
Of course we do. We understand completely. The point is, we all realize that Monika hasn't really been acting herself lately. It's possible that things may have been extremely stressful for her as well. We all know stressful school can be, and Monika's a perfectionist, isn't she? Sayori nods. Right, having so many things happen in such a short amount of time is probably overwhelming her. Yeah, good point.
She's a super perfectionist.
Well, she's already beyond that, considering that she's sentient and losing control as well.
She goes out of her way to make sure everything is right, no matter the cost. If something isn't going her way, she tends to be very hard on herself. It's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, I can relate to that feeling. Alright, I understand then.
I'll hang out with her this weekend then. I did mention how her and I should talk more after all. I'll take her to the best ice cream parlor in town. I'm sure she'll appreciate having a nice break from everything.
That's nice of you, Natsuki. I thought you were still super upset with her or something.
Oh, I am. I just don't think it's fair to leave her in the dirt either. Especially after considering that she's probably super stressed out. You're such a good friend, Natsuki. I guess I want to give Monika some space. Maybe that's what she needs. Sure, I see your point there, but I feel like we should take a bit more of a direct approach. I don't think it's cool to leave friends behind. You should come with us too. It seems you really want to.
I mean, Sayori wouldn't pass up the opportunity to get some good old chocolate ice cream, eh?
Well, I feel like I want to, but no, it's okay. I should have said anything, honestly. Just remember to get her vanilla ice cream, okay? It's her favorite.
Sayori.
I'm okay. Finn, I feel like walking home by myself today. Is that okay with you?
Natsuki looks at me intensely, almost as if she was yelling me to not let her leave this room by herself. At the same time, Monika's words are ringing at the back of my head.
Do you trust her to be left on her own?
Do I?
You don't have to answer that, actually. I'll be leaving now.
I reach out and attempts to grab her shoulder, but miss her by a short distance. Wait, I'll go with you. Let me just grab my things. She doesn't stop walking. As I quickly scramble to grab my things, she's already out of the door. Baka, I don't know what happened. Nah, I'm telling that to myself. I should have read the room. But don't just stand here talking to me like a dummy. Go after her. Natsuki pushes me out of the club room and closes the door behind me. Sayori is already quite far down the hallway but still here, so that's good. She turns around quickly, only to turn back and face forward. The look on her face was frightening, but only because I know that look all too well. It's the same face she made at the hospital, that bittersweet look that haunts me to my core. I quickly run down the hallway and hope to catch up to her without running after her. Sayori, wait up for me. We live on the same street, silly. Wait up. She doesn't stop and disappears off to the right end of the hallway. And to make matters worse, it sounds like a storm is nearby. Oh boy, definitely not a storm blaze, am I right? Wonderful timing. I quickly hurry down the hallway and hope to catch Sayori before the rain starts. Sayori! Sayori stops and turns around. I told you to let me walk home alone. Yeah, but come on, there's no way I'd let you walk through this rain all alone. And why not? Well, why would I let you walk through this stormy weather on your own? That's depressing. And I can kind of see that it kind of rhymes, considering that, you know, the rain clouds are making her depressed and all that. Metaphorically, in a way, but hey, just like George Lucas said, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Or maybe it's just because she's not in the mood right now. Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Okay, Sayori, I know I didn't mean it like that. I just don't want you to be alone right now. You still haven't made a good reason as to why. Do I need one? I'm your friend. I don't want to see you like this. Well, I hate to break this news to you, Finn. Sayori opens up her arms and points to herself. This is me. If you don't want to see me like this, then you should let me walk home by myself. You know, I'm not gonna let you do that. Why not? You don't trust me, do you, Finn? You think I'm hopeless, don't you? It doesn't matter anyway. I already know the answer. Every single time it's this crying face. Blob, Sayori. I'm the reason Monika is so stressed. I'm the reason why Yuri is feeling so upset. All because Sayori loudly sobs uncontrollably. I'm supposed to be there to support my friends. But instead, She lets out a loud cry. I'm so selfish. I'm so selfish. It's all my fault. The club isn't the same because of me. It's all my fault. And you're getting stressed because Sayori! I place my hands on her shoulder and stare directly into her eyes. Stop. Just stop. You keep telling yourself all these things, you'll end up believing them. Is it hard for you to believe that I'm here because I care about... Yes, it is. I slowly let go of Sayori. The makeup on Sayori's neck begins to wash away, revealing her bruise. I don't expect you to understand me, Finn. Nobody does. But I want to try. I don't want you to. Wouldn't life be much easier for you? If you just stopped worried about me? No, it's not like it's not like that. I promised myself that I would always stick by your side, through thick and thin, because that's what best friends do. And how do I know you're not just doing this because of what happened? Don't try to answer that. I think I already know the answer.
She looks down at the floor and doesn't look back up. Sayori? No response. By now, she appears completely unresponsive, almost in a state of catatonia. I have never heard of that word before. How do you say that? Catatonia? Catatonia? I don't know. Can I walk you home? Still nothing. And the rain doesn't seem to show any signs of stopping either. I slowly walk closer to her, attempting to wrap my arms around her, but she only backs away.
Finn.
It's hard to hear her soft voice over the loud sounds of the pouring rain.
Just let me walk home by myself. Please. That's what I want.
Well, we sort of live on the same street and all. So I have to head down the same road anyway. I nervously scratch my head and look down at my feet. Well, might as well, you know, let her go ahead and distance yourself from her, you know? If you really insist on walking home by yourself, I can at least give you a head start.
What do you mean?
A head start. I'll give you 10 seconds to walk ahead of me, then I'll be right behind you after that. Is that okay at least? Sayori wipes her tears away and sniffles.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. Thank you, Finn.
I only nod in response. Seemingly without hesitation, she turns around, adjusts her bag, and heads down the street towards our neighborhood. As I promised, I wait the 10 seconds I said I'd give her, which end up being the most excruciating 10 seconds of my entire life. Watching her slowly walk away by herself worries me to my absolute core, which just begins to hammer in the idea that I'm only worried about her because of what happened. But how can I not be? I don't want anything bad to happen to her. And that's 10 seconds. Well, all I can say is just stay silent. She'll give you whenever she wants to and what she needs. She'll talk to you about it. So for now, all I can say is just have faith in her, you know? Give her some space, a breathing room to think things through, and then she'll tell you. I start down the road. Sayori's still within speaking distance from me, but I decide that our conversation is pretty much over now. I should really let her have this. Any more pestering would probably do more harm than good. Yuri's words ring back to me. I think you should believe in her a little bit. It's the best you can do for her right now. And how can I? Have faith. How can I be there for Sayori and still trust her enough that she won't hurt herself like before? What am I supposed to do? Sayori now walks over towards the left side of our neighborhood towards our house. I let out a heavy sigh and walk towards my own. Trust. I have to trust that she'll be okay. And have faith. Because that's what she wants. I walk into my house and throw my soaked bag on the floor, not really caring too much about any of my papers or books. I'm sure it'll be fine anyway. I make my way up to the restroom to shower and then get ready to work on some homework assignments. Nothing like a nice shower after a long day of school. I agree, it's always nice to have good showers. I sit at my desk and pull out some papers from my desk. They're past due assignments that I really have to get started on. Almost 2 days late now, and that's pretty acceptable on most teacher standards. Hey, even though you were late on that, you still have to pass it. You don't want to have incomplete grades, you know. I have no idea what I'm doing. Aren't we all? I mean, even as a college student. These are all English class assignments.
In other words, things that Sayori usually helps me out with. I guess I've been putting them off. I don't really want to bother her with these things either. Who do I know from the literature club that could help me with my English homework? I pull out my phone from my pocket and search for Yuri in my contacts. Hey, Yuri, of course. I mean, she is the smart one after all.
Hello?
Hey, Yuri, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. You?
Well, as great as I can be during a rainstorm. It's really pouring out there, isn't it?
Ah, indeed. I adore this weather.
Why do I keep bringing up the weather with her? Ah, listen, I need some help with this English assignment. Something about Shakespeare's Hamlet? I know nothing about it.
Ah, yes, Shakespeare. He made wonderful works of literature.
Of course. Timeless classic.
To thine own self be true.
What?
Sorry. What is it you need help with exactly? A summary?
I noticed that Yuri's a lot more confident over the phone. Her sentences are clear and concise, and it doesn't seem to stutter at all. Just a summary of events, really, and it says I have to analyze Hamlet's character.
I see. Alright, then I'll start at the beginning. I'll keep it simple for you.
Yuri begins to explain the entirety of Hamlet over the phone, but she does it in such a way that I'm able to fill out each question on my assignment without any trouble. Let's take a break for now. My hand is killing me.
I apologize. I know it's a lot to take down all at once.
Yeah, you really seem to know a lot about Hamlet though. That's impressive.
It's nothing really. It's not even my favorite story of his. The Tempest is a wonderful fantasy tale, but I'm not sure you'll be familiar with that.
Oh, gee, thanks.
I'm sorry. I guess I just assumed.
I'm kidding. You're absolutely right. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I'm a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet. It's such a beautiful tragedy.
I really like Romeo and Juliet's story. I really do. I really like it. Yeah. I'm familiar with that one at least.
Speaking of tales of love, how are you and Sayori doing? I know I asked you this earlier today, but...
It's alright. It's, Jeez, I don't even know at the moment. It's not like we had a fight or anything, but it just doesn't feel like we can just hit her up whenever I want to either. Well, I don't really know if it's okay to talk about this sort of thing.
I apologize for getting into your business. I should have asked.
No, it's okay, really. It's just, I guess I could use a little bit of lady advice, you know?
That's a little embarrassing to talk about over the phone.
Oh jeez, not that, Yuri. Come on! Lady advice? What? What are you guys are thinking about? Like, come on, man. Not like that.
Oh.
We both let an awkward silence take over the phone call for a moment. Look, I'm having some trouble trying to trust Sayori. Like, I guess I feel the need to always be there for her, no matter what.
I understand now. Do you feel like you need to make up lost time, since you two were childhood friends?
I mean, that's part of it. I don't feel like the idea that it's the entire reason why I'm spending time with her.
And I guess factoring in what happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah, she's pretty much convinced that I'm only spending time with her because of that.
Be honest with yourself, Finn. Are you?
No. Well, how am I supposed to know the answer to that?
Finn, you know I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this type of thing, right?
Huh? Why is that?
Well, you know I'm not very good with people, so you should take my advice with a grain of salt. But I can tell you what I think and what I do personally.
Sure, that works for me.
So, actions speak louder than words. If you keep so hard and going out of your way to act like some sort of protector, she's only going to feel more burdened by it all. In other words, being overprotective. I'm not saying to stop what you're doing, of course. It's just for me personally. What you're doing only seems to further cement her mentality that you're doing this because of what happened. In other words, don't treat her like someone who needs help or something like that. You don't want Sayori to keep thinking that you're only helping her for the sake of it.
But isn't that super confusing? Why would I go out of my way to help the girl I care about?
That's what makes the situation so difficult. And I wouldn't really know how to help with that exactly.
Man, all of this really does suck, you know?
I understand, Finn. I will say this, however, you're a wonderful friend and Sayori's lucky to have you in her life.
You really think so?
I know so. I know it's hard to see her suffering though, Finn. It's probably extremely burdensome, but I know that if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll end up exhausting yourself. Of course, that's just my personal opinion on the matter. Like I said earlier, I'm not very good with this type of stuff.
Well, can I ask for your opinion on another thing?
Sure, what is it?
Well, you already know that Sayori takes antidepressants, right? Do you think they help? Yuri stays quiet for a while, probably thinking about the right words to say.
I believe they do, but they don't always help.
Eh? Really?
I don't know. I've never taken any of myself. There are cases where they work, and some where they don't help at all. But I do know that they're pretty well regarded in mental health talks.
But what's the point of prescribing something that only has a chance of working?
I don't think I can answer that. I don't want to assume.
Right. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot like that. It's not right of me.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you asked me. I'm just not the best person to talk to with stuff like this.
Right. It's okay though. I really appreciate you talking. I appreciate you hearing me out. This wasn't really how I thought this phone call would turn out.
Me neither, but I'm glad we had this talk either way.
And how about you? How are you doing?
Monika talked to me earlier today.
Oh? She did? About what?
She asked me to return to the club.
Oh.
But it didn't seem sincere at all.
Like what? She was trying to play with a ukulele next to you on the phone? Okay, that's stupid. That would be kind of funny though. Ah, I see. You know, Sayori and Natsuki both mentioned that she's acting a little strange recently.
Now that you mention it, you're right. He has changed a bit since she and I first met. He seems more irritable and less approachable, which is pretty much the opposite of the Monika I met when the club first started.
So it's official then. We all noticed it. Natsuki mentioned that she's going to hang out with her this weekend, which we all figured that's what she needs.
Ah, that's good. Good on Natsuki's part as well. She doesn't usually make the effort to hang out with others.
I see.
Oh, that should be a long enough break now. We should get back to that assignment.
Oh yeah, let's get back to it. And back to work we do. Yuri helps me finish up the last part of my assignment and we both call it a night. I stretch in my chair before getting up and heading over towards my bed. As I slide into the bed sheets, I get a glimpse of Sayori's house outside my bedroom window. Should I call her or should I just leave her be? No, Yuri's right. I should trust and believe in her a little more. I'm sure Sayori would appreciate that. Also, what bedroom window? Unless if it's right next to the quote-unquote computer desk and such, but here I don't see it. Should have picked a better background for that. Like, there's one here on the wall above the bed. That's a good edit, but I guess that would make the closet seem a little redundant in my opinion. But still, right? Like I said, just have faith in her, my guy. Have faith in her. Could see this transition. And what's next? We're still in Act 2, or we're taking longer to get to Act 3? Oh.
You can't help her, Finn.
What the? Huh?
You can't help her, Finn.
Why?
You can't help her, Finn.
Why not?
You can't help me, Finn.
Why not? Why can't I?
There comes a time in everyone's life when one must themselves. How far would you go for the ones you love? What sacrifices will you make? Would you die for the ones you love? Or would you still put your life above their own when that moment actually comes? No matter how many times you play, it's all the same, all of it. It would be really easy to... No, that would mean I don't really get to talk to you anymore. All I want for you is to hate them. Why is that so hard?
Because I don't. They're my friends, obviously. Not that you have friends to start with, Monika, but hey, what would I know? What would I say to judge? I close and lock the front door behind me and let out a sigh as I prepare for the final day of school before the weekend begins. I sort of hope for Sayori to be waiting for me at my front door, but it isn't like that this time. Knowing her, she probably decided to sleep in. Or better yet, maybe she went to school all on her own, ahead of me. What Yuri told me last night, however, is starting to weed its way into every single decision I'm making regarding Sayori. Should I just walk to school on my own? Or should I wait for her here like I've been doing for the last few weeks? I take a deep breath, look towards Sayori's house, hoping that she decides to run out after me before I decide to take my first step forward. And I start walking to school. This doesn't feel right at all. This doesn't feel right at all, though. I really should be going with my gut here. I mean, that was the entire reason why I was able to stop her from that. I feel an overwhelming sense of dread as I think back to that night. So much that I had to stop in my tracks and stare down at my feet. Jeez, Finn, what are you thinking? Leaving Sayori by herself like that? Turn around, idiot. Baka. I turn back around and hit.
Hey! I overslept again. I'm sorry.
I can't help but smile and feel an overwhelming sense of relief. She's okay. It's all good, Sayori. All pretty girls need their beauty sleep after all.
I'm not that pretty.
Well, to me, you darn right you are pretty. I think so. I mean, all that beauty sleep has to be for a reason, right?
Right. Of course.
I nearly facepalm as I immediately regret what I just said. I'm trying too hard. But it's so bizarre. And it's not a JoJo reference. The sharp contrast between her behavior yesterday afternoon and this morning is jarring. There's still so much I don't understand about you, Sayori. She happily walks slightly ahead of me and turns around, walking backwards.
Come on, Finn. We don't want to be late.
And with that wake of yours, heck yeah, I don't want to be late. Right behind you. And off we school we go. As Sayori closes the door to her first class, I realize that none of this felt right. Her upbeat behavior, acting like nothing ever happened. I hate to admit it to myself, but it's getting frustrating. Because all I want is for her to communicate more with me. I want to understand her better. Does that make me feel selfish? Am I being too possessive here? I wish I had all the answers to these questions. Same. It's only been 45 minutes and I'm already extremely bored. I know I should be paying attention though. This is English class. I should be paying attention in all of my classes. My grades haven't been looking so hot and they seem to be on a downward spiral. I stealthily take my phone out of my pocket and see a text from Sayori. What the?
Remember to spend time with the others too, okay?
Oh, that was before, I think.
Could you meet me in the hallway? I want to talk.
Oh. Sure, on my way. Sayori isn't one to skip class unless it's for the bathroom or if it's extremely dire. I doubt it's the latter. Excuse me, Mrs. Manami, may I use the bathroom? She waves her finger towards the door and continues with her lecture. I swiftly leave the room and start walking down the hallway towards Sayori's classroom. I text Sayori that I'm on my way and then head towards the stairs. I'm pretty shocked to see Sayori sitting at the foot of the stairs, staring down at the door dejectedly. Hey, Sayori? Everything okay?
Hey, Finn. And no, not really.
I sit down next to her and scoot close so our shoulders are touching. What's up?
Are you mad at me?
What? Why would I be mad?
I know you, Finn. When you're upset, you get quiet and distant.
That's...
It's okay, Finn. I know it's my fault anyway.
Huh?